31 people have been reported dead in Mindanao following floods and landslides caused by Tropical Storm Paeng. The Bangsamoro Interior and Local Government Minister Nagib Sinarimbo said 16 of these fatalities were reported in the town of Datu Odin, Sinsuat.
Itong area ng Metro Manila, Calabarzon, parts of Mimaropa, Bicol Region, ito yung mga babantayan natin sa pagdaan ng bagyong si Paeng. Ngunit yung kaulapan, base ito sa kanilang satellite image, ay mahagip pa rin dyan ang mga kababayan natin from Mindanao up to the west, the entire Visayas at itong southern Luzon area.
From the nation's capital, all sides, all the time, I'm Jess De Los Santos.
And I'm Gretchen Ho. The big story tonight.
Several areas in Visayas and Mindanao were flooded due to rains brought by Tropical Storm Paeng. Aside from flooding, landslides were also reported in several provinces. G. Robles with the big story.
This vehicle fell into a cliff after the land collapse in San Antonio District in Parang, Maguindanao. In another video, the extent of the landslide damage can very much be seen. Severe flooding was also seen in Upi town. Police and other officials had to brave chest-high floods in order to rescue residents. Muddy floods, meanwhile, were reported over in South Upi, Maguindanao. According to the uploader of the video, some houses have been swept away by the flood. Crops were also destroyed because of this. In North Upi, several bodies were scattered after floods subsided. Some were even found still hanging on those trees and plants. According to the BARMM Rapid Emergency Action on Disaster Incidents, 31 individuals have been confirmed dead due to the landslides and flash floods in Maguindanao. 7 persons were reported missing, while 10 towns are still submerged in the floods.
Mag-increase ba ito? Kasi yung mga communities na nasa Ligawasan Mars, yung pong tubig dyan na nanggagaling sa Bukidnon, Sultan Kudarat Province, South Cotabato, North Cotabato, magta-travel pa ho, magti-take ng time yung pagbaba ng tubig sa Ligawasan Mars. As soon as dumating ho yung tubig na yan sa catch basin na yan, yung mga communities surrounding the Mars, makaka-experience na rin ho ng pagbahayon.
Aside from Maguindanao, severe damages caused by Tropical Storm Paeng can also be seen in provinces like Cotabato.
Tulungan nyo kami. Ayan. Nasa taas na ang pader.
In this video, several individuals were asking for help as they were stranded during the floods. The same scenario could also be seen in the nearby town of Big Kawayan. Residents had to be rescued and evacuated using boats. But with many individuals still needing to be evacuated, the local government is asking help from the public.
Nananawagan po kami. Baka may rubber boat kayo dyan o bangka man lang. Pwede po. Pwede dala dito. Kaya to? Meron kami rescue ng mga pamilya dito.
Meanwhile, in preparation for the impact of Paeng, residents in the coastal towns of Quezon province have been told to stay away from sailing their boats. In Maling River, a number of vessels are seen docked as sea trips have also been suspended. Over in the town of Del Gallego, Camarines Sur, several trucks were left stranded. Authorities have prohibited travel to Matnog Port in Sorsogon due to inclement weather. As of Friday, 500 vehicles or more or less 1,000 individuals have been stranded in Del Gallego. For 1PH, G. Robles. We are One News.
Here to give us the latest on the situation in Maguindanao, we have with us via Zoom Datu Nasrullah Imam. He is the head of the Maguindanao PDRRMO. Good evening and welcome to the big story, sir.
Yes po, good evening po, ma'am.
Okay, kamusta po ang sitwasyon dyan? Lumalakas pa po ba yung ulan kumpara po dun sa mga na-report po natin within the day?
Yes po, based po on pag-asa, tumaas po sa orange alert letter po ang province of Maguindanao, and as of now po, continue pa rin po ang pag-ulan.
So far kanina ho, na-report natin may 31 na namatay dyan, nasawi dyan nga sa Maguindanao. Tumaas ba yan bilang na yan? At the same time, pati na rin yung bilang ng mga nawawala or possibly yung mga injured dahil nga dyan sa pagbaha?
Yes po. As of now, sir, meron po tayong total na dead po na nasa 34, umabot na po ng 34. And we have 16 missing and 29 injured.
Okay, so 34 dead, 16 missing, and how many again are injured, sir?
29 are injured.
29 are injured. Now, meron na ho ba tayong bilang kung gaano karaming pamilya or individuals yung naapektuhan nitong si Paeng?
Yes, we have initial report. We have 49,549 numbers of affected population in the province of Mindanao.
Sir, nakita po natin sa ilang reports, no, it was rivers that were affected here, the level of water, specifically yung Dima Patoy po. At kanina rin po doon sa report, nabanggitin natin na the worst is yet to come. Meron pa po tayo inaasahan na pagdagsa ng tubig mula sa Bukidnon, mula sa Sultan Kudarat. So what are you preparing for now, and has everybody been evacuated in those areas?
Yes, ma'am. Kasi itong situation na ito, ma'am, is first time po namin naranasan. Usually po, ma'am, yung mga municipality po na nakapaligid po sa marshland po is yun po talaga yung mga low areas. Kasi alam po natin ang Maguindanao is catch basin. So, always prepared po kami pag may mga advisory po na may mga darating na mga bagyo. So, nabigla po kami, ma'am, na yung mga matataas po na bayan namin ang tinamaan po ng baha at flash flood. And then doon sa mga low areas po namin, ma'am, manageable naman po ang situation nila.
Okay.
Okay, so sir, ibig sabihin po, saan po natin dinedirect na magpunta po yung ating mga locals po dyan? At ano po ang tulong na maaaring may extend po sa Maguindanao?
Yes po, ma'am. Meron na po mga designated evacuation center po ang per municipality according to their contingency plan. And also, nagpaabot na rin po ng mensahe po ang mayor po ng Davao City na sila po ay magbibigay ng tulong at tinanong na rin po nila kung ano po yung mga resources na kinakailangan dito po sa pag-rescue po ng mga victims po ng landslide and flash flood po. And also kasama po natin ang AFP, PNP, DFP, Coast Guard, and also ang Air Force po sa operation po.
Okay. Very quickly, is the local government planning to declare a state of calamity?
Yes, actually, under state of calamity pa rin po kami ngayon sa flooding kasi previously po naka-experience po kami na talagang binaha rin po yung ilan sa mga municipalities namin. Pero still po under state of calamity pa rin po kami.
Okay, maraming salamat po. Datu Nasrullah Imam of the Maguindanao PDRRMO. Mag-ingat po kayo.
Now, Tropical Storm Paeng has slightly intensified as it makes its way towards the Philippine landmass. Let's get the latest updates on Paeng from Pag-asa weather forecaster Dan Villamil. Good evening, Dan. Thank you for joining us tonight. Can you give us updates on Paeng? Ano ba yung inaasahan natin na magiging track at lakas nitong si Paeng moving forward?
Magandang gabi, Sir Jester and Miss Gretchen, and to our televiewers. So kaninang hapon itong sentro ni Bagyong Paeng ay huling namataan sa layong 180 kilometers silangan ng Katarman, Northern Samar. Ito ay may taglay na lakas ng hangin na malapit sa gitna na umaabot sa 85 kilometers per hour at pagbugso na umaabot sa 105 kilometers per hour. Kasalukuyan itong gumagalaw pakanluran, hilagang kanluran sa bilis na 25 kilometers per hour. At sa kasalukuyan nakataas itong tropical cyclone wind signal number 2 sa bahagi ng Catanduanes, Albay, Sorsogon, Masbate, Ticao Island, Burias Islands, Camarines Sur, Camarines Norte, Marinduque, Quezon, Polillo Islands, ang southern portion ng Aurora, southeastern portion ng Nueva Ecija, Laguna, Batangas, Cavite, Metro Manila, Rizal, Bulacan, ang eastern portion ng Pampanga, northern at central portions ng Oriental Mindoro, Romblon, Northern Samar, Eastern Samar, Samar, Biliran at ang northern portion ng Leyte. Samantala, wind signal number 1 naman ang nakataas dito sa Nueva Vizcaya, Quirino, central at southern portions ng Isabela, Ifugao, Benguet, Mountain Province, southern portion ng Ilocos Sur, La Union, Bataan, Tarlac, Zambales, Pangasinan, rest of Aurora, rest of Pampanga, Occidental Mindoro, Lubang Islands, rest of Oriental Mindoro, Calamian Islands, Cuyo Islands, rest of Nueva Ecija, Southern Leyte, Cebu, Bantayan at Camotes Islands, Bohol, Negros Occidental, Negros Oriental, Guimaras, Aklan, Antique, Capiz, Iloilo, Siquijor at ang nalalabing bahagi ng Leyte, Dinagat Islands, Surigao del Norte, Siargao at Bukas Grande Islands, northern portion ng Surigao del Sur, Agusan del Norte, northeastern portion ng Agusan del Sur, Camiguin at ang eastern portion ng Misamis Oriental. Kaya pinaghanda natin ating mga kababayan sa mga nabanggit na lugar kung saan may nakataas na wind signal kasi inaasahan natin na within the next 24 to 36 hours ay patuloy nating mararanasan itong mga malalakas na bugso ng hangin na dala ni Paeng. At sa ngayon yung landfall scenario po natin, posibleng mag-landfall or mag-close approach itong si Paeng dito sa bahagi ng Northern Samar, and beyond that, posible itong magkaroon ng second landfall sa bahagi naman ng Bicol region ngayong gabi hanggang bukas ng madaling araw. And as early as ngayon pa lang, mararanasan na natin itong mga pag-ulan na dala ni Paeng. So heavy to intense with the times torrential rains ang posible nating maranasan dito sa Bicol region at Eastern Visayas. Samantala, moderate to heavy with the times intense rains naman ang posible nating maranasan sa Quezon, sa bahagi ng Mimaropa, Caraga, Zamboanga Peninsula, Barm, Northern Mindanao at sa nalalabing bahagi ng Visayas. Samantala, light to moderate with the times heavy rains naman ang posibleng maranasan dito sa Metro Manila, Bulacan, Pampanga, Cagayan Valley, Aurora, sa rest of Calabarzon at sa nalalabing bahagi ng Mindanao. At inaasahan natin na starting tomorrow ay mas lalakas pa ang mga pag-ulan na ating mararanasan, kaya maghanda na tayo at iba yung pag-ingat sa mga banta ng biglaang pagbaha, pagguho ng lupa at posible rin itong pag-apaw ng mga ilog at dalampasigan, lalong-lalo na kung tuloy-tuloy ang mga pag-ulan na ating mararanasan. At dahil sa patuloy malalakas na hangin na nadala nitong si Paeng ay nagtaas pa rin tayo ng gale warning sa mga dagat baybayin sa malaking bahagi ng ating bansa dito sa bahagi ng Quezon, Polillo Islands, Marinduque, Romblon, southern coast ng Batangas, Oriental Mindoro, Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Catanduanes, Albay, Sorsogon, Masbate, Burias at Ticao Islands, Northern Samar, Eastern Samar, Biliran, Cagayan, Isabela, Aurora, Batanes at Babuyan Islands, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union, Pangasinan, Zambales, ang silangang baybayin ng Surigao del Norte at ang silangang baybayin ng Dinagat Islands, Surigao del Sur at ang eastern coast ng Davao Oriental. Kaya sa ating mga kababayang mangingisda at may mga maliliit na sasakyang pandagat sa nabanggit na lugar kung saan may nakataas na gale warning, huwag po muna tayong pumalaot dahil inaasahan natin na magpapatuloy itong maalon hanggang sa napakaanong karagatan.
Okay, maraming salamat again for that forecast at sa mga paalala sa ating mga kababayan. Again, Pag-asa weather forecaster Dan Villamil. Now let's pause for a quick break. Right after that, some land and sea trips have been suspended ahead of the long weekend due to Tropical Storm Paeng. We'll get the latest on this with LTFRB's Jocelyn Tataro. That when the big story returns, keep it here on One News.
Bloomberg sources say Elon Musk has completed his $44 billion acquisition of Twitter. The world's richest person takes charge of the social network after 6 months of public and legal wrangling. Musk has wasted no time on sweeping leadership changes, with departures including the CEO, Parag Agrawal, CFO Ned Siegel, as well as the policy head and general counsel. Japan has announced a $490 billion economic stimulus package, including an extra $200 billion in government spending. It's designed to ease the impact of rising prices on consumers and companies and support growth. It came ahead of a decision by the Japanese central bank to continue with negative rates and its policy of capping 10-year bond yields. New UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has demoted 2 climate change ministers and decided not to attend the annual United Nations summit next month. Sunak's predecessor, Liz Truss, had planned to go to COP27 meeting in Egypt, but his office says he won't attend due to other pressing domestic commitments. Global news 24 hours a day, on air and on Bloomberg Quick Take, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in more than 120 countries. This is Bloomberg.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. Did you say yes?
I need a shot of you from the house. Okay. Can you please? Guys, can you look this way, please? Kanye. Turn ahead, guys. Turn ahead. Can you look to the corner, please? Turn ahead, please. Turn ahead in the corner. Even him.
You're watching the big story here on One News. Several flights over at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport were also suspended due to paeng. According to the management, several passengers arrived early ahead of their flights. Most of them are headed back to their provinces after 2 years of mobility restrictions from COVID-19. However, due to Tropical Storm Paeng, some flights to Visayas and Mindanao were already canceled. This includes Cebu Pacific flights bound for Masbate, Naga, Surigao, Dipolog, and Rojas. Airport authorities said they are ready to assist stranded passengers following these flight cancellations.
We have passenger holding area, the other side. Usually, ang mga kinikita namin yan within 48 hours departure. Pero as much as possible, more than 48 hours. Kaya request namin baka pwede bumalik po. We provide them malasakit kits and we requested airline kung pwede i-provide sila ng mga food.
Meanwhile, the Philippine Ports Authority also urged bus operators to cancel their trips to Visayas and Mindanao amid the threat of Tropical Storm Paeng. To give us more details, Camille Samonte is on the line reporting from the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange. Camille, what's the latest there?
Just passengers traveling for the long weekend continue to flock here in PITX. Some passengers, however, were disappointed after several trips of buses and sea vessel were canceled due to Tropical Storm Paeng. One of the passengers that we spoke to, named Faith Barbachon, will spend the night here in PITX after her trip in Mindoro was canceled. She was supposed to go home this afternoon, but was disappointed when she found out that the port in Mindoro canceled its trip. She went to Manila to buy flowers and candles to sell for All Souls Day. But now she fears that her money will just be wasted if the weather won't improve the next day. Janelle Penilo, another passenger, will also be spending the night in the terminal with his family. Their trip to Leyte was delayed due to Tropical Storm Paeng. They were supposed to leave yesterday, but the trip was rescheduled tomorrow. Penilo complains about the hassle of rebooking their trip, especially that they have so much stuff to bring. The management of Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange said 17 trips of Roro buses were already canceled. This includes trips going to Oriental Mindoro, Iloilo, Maasin in Southern Leyte, Ormoc, Davao, and Bagamanok in Catanduanes. The Philippine Ports Authority also suspended the trips in Port of Batangas. The port manager said sea vessels are not allowed to sail until the tropical cyclone wind signals are raised in several areas. Trips in Port of Eastern Samar, Leyte, Bicol, Marinduque, and Quezon were also suspended. This also includes trips in Mindoro, Masbate, Bohol, Guimaras, Surigao, Misamis Oriental, and Agusan. Just the PITX management said they will allow stranded passengers to stay in the terminal due to suspended trips. Jess?
All right, thank you very much again for those updates. Camille Samonte reporting live from the PITX. Now here to share with us how traffic authorities are preparing for the upcoming undas, we have LTFRB Planning and Monitoring Division Head Attorney Jocelyn Tataro joining us via Zoom. Good evening, Attorney. Welcome to the big story. Let's pick up from that report by Camille Samonte. Again, you have a number of passengers already stranded in terminals. Are there alternative modes of transportation for them, or what assistance are we going to give them?
We do not have alternative mode of transport since the advice was to suspend trips. However, it is coordinated by the board to our transport operators to attend to the needs of their passengers while being stranded at the ports or terminals.
Okay.
Ms. Jocelyn, with a tropical storm Paeng expected to intensify with the forecast, how long do you expect these cancellations to go? How dangerous is it now to continue on with the sea vessels?
We are awaiting on the update of Pag-asa, and we will continue to suspend trips while the storm is still
Siguro po ba hanggang Sunday po ba ito, ma'am? Or do you expect it to carry on Monday, Tuesday? I mean, people have waited on this vacation or to go back home after 2 years. How long do you expect this to go?
Until and unless the storm ay humina, hindi po kami magpapatakbo ng mga buses papuntang nabibiyahe po ng Roro.
Now, at the same time, ma'am, you have the President just today issuing an executive order allowing the voluntary use of face masks in public transportation. How will this in any way affect yung mga established health protocols na natin and health measures, especially when traveling?
Notwithstanding such issuance, the board still mandates or makes it mandatory for passengers of the wearing of face mask while inside public utility vehicles.
Okay, ma'am, sa ngayon po yung mga stranded po sa ating mga terminal, can they get a refund, 100% refund? And ano po yung klase ng assistance na maibibigay po natin sa mga pasahero?
Meron po tayong nakatalagang mga personnel po sa ating mga one-stop shop. Pwede po nilang idulog ang kanilang concern sa ating mga personnel na nakatalaga po doon para po mabigyan po sila ng assistance.
Oo, para lang po maintindihan po natin ano pong klaseng assistance po yung pwede pong asahan.
Yung mga concerns po nila regarding po ng mga refund, kung hindi na po sila talaga bibiyahe, pwede po namin i-coordinate sa ating mga public PUB operators po.
Pero para po sa mga nandun at walang matuluyan, ano po ang maipapayo o mai-advise niyo po sa kanila? Saan po sila pupunta kaya?
Medyo malakas pa rin po yung ulan. Pwede po siguro mag-stay muna sila sa mga terminal kung nasaan po sila. Siguro po pag tila po ng ulan, kung hindi pa papayagan yung pagbiyahe po ng mga Roro buses, pwede po silang umuwi sa kanilang mga tahanan.
All right, thank you very much, LTFRB Planning and Monitoring Division Head Attorney Jocelyn Tataro. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News.
I'm here at the Neaston Temple in London, and we've come here partly because it's Diwali, one of the most important festivals in the Hindu religious calendar, but also because Rishi Sunak has been chosen to be Prime Minister and will be the first person of British Indian heritage to take that role, as well as being the first British Hindu to also be Prime Minister. British Asians are one of the largest ethnic minority groups in the UK, and where we are now, in the North London borough of Brent, around a third of people are from an Asian background.
It's a proud and historic moment for the British Indian community. It's also an inspiring moment for the younger generation from people of all ethnicities to take inspiration and look to public service. I think, yes, Diwali is considered a very auspicious time in the Hindu calendar, and it's been a difficult year. It's been a year where families have struggled. We're all finding it difficult. We're all struggling, and I think, yes, hopefully this is a new beginning.
It's been a massive thing for me to see how this mandir in itself has brought me so much more closer to my religion and also to my culture. And I just hope that the future generation also get the same feeling that I have attained as well. I think being British and being Asian, it has definitely been very, very different. But at the same time, it's about accepting your identity and accepting who you are and being proud of where you have come from or where your ancestors have come from as well.
Google is getting into chips. The crunchy kind that you can actually eat. You can probably tell from the package that they're only available in Japan. And here, they're part of the marketing push for the latest Pixel 7 phones from the internet giant, designed to remind us that Google also makes the other kind of chips, the ones made out of silicon. The Pixel has Google's own Tensor G2 chip, the company's most advanced AI-powered cameras, and its litany of internet services from Google Maps and Photos to YouTube and Chrome. It's hard to imagine Apple resorting to the potato chip ploy, but that's because people already know and love the iPhone, whereas Google is running ads in the US saying, "Did you know Google makes a phone?" It says something about both the ongoing failure of Google's Pixel phones to sell in big numbers and the company's opportunity in Japan. In the US, Apple and Samsung account for 74%.
And you're still watching the big story here on One News. It's official, mask wearing both indoors and outdoors is now voluntary. This comes after President Bongbong Marcos signed Executive Order Number 7, allowing the optional use of face masks in all public spaces. Under the order, wearing face masks is still mandatory in healthcare facilities, medical transport vehicles, and public transportation. Persons with comorbidities, senior citizens, pregnant women, and unvaccinated individuals are still encouraged to wear face masks. And before we end our broadcast, we would like to express our sincerest condolences to the family and friends of our executive producer, Romel Marvin Rio. Romel passed away this afternoon at the age of 30. He was a producer for One News since 2018 and for TV5 since 2011. For many of us here, he's more than just a journalist and a colleague. He's also a friend, a mentor, and a brother.
We are grateful to have witnessed his talent and passion over the years. And even if he's been with The Big Story for just a few months, we definitely felt his passion for telling stories. And we were inspired by his tenacity and his drive to reach for his dreams as a journalist, as a professor, as an aspiring lawyer, and as a breadwinner for his family. And we are sending our utmost condolences, our deepest prayers to the family and friends of our beloved Romel Rio.
Definitely a kapatid, a not just a colleague, not just a coworker, but really, true to the word, we lost a kapatid. And that's the big story tonight. For more updates, follow News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. You may also log on to onenews.ph for more in-depth analysis. Just this.
The big story is also available via Signal Play app. Make a free account now at signalplay.com and stream One News anytime, anywhere. I'm Gretchen Ho. Stay safe, Philippines.
We are One News, all sides, all the time.